What am I most proud of achieving and why? I think the thing that I'm most proud of achieving is getting into troupe, my circus troupe, back in Wales, where I have learnt circus so far. I had some friends who went there and did circus, and I thought, wow, like just seeing all the stuff they could do. Like, I had friends who'd just sort of dive roll over my garden furniture and walk on their hands up my stairs. And I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. How can I learn to do that too? And there was such a tight knit group of people as well. I just want to be part of that, and I just want to learn all these amazing things that they can do. And then that was when I was 13, and it wasn't for another year that I could finally start going to the social circus sessions, all the manipulation, juggling, spinning stuff. It wasn't until a year later that I could actually do that, and then a year after that, so when I was 15, so about a year ago, um, it was I couldn't go regularly because it was so difficult for me to get there because I lived really far away from where the circus was. It was like an hour and a half drive. I couldn't get there very often, so but I just wanted to go so much, and so I started working really really hard at home. Started working on my strength. I started working on my flexibility. Every time I could go, I'd like ask for things that I could practice at home. So handstands, dive rolls, blah 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 blah, and just like bruising my tailbone over and over on the grass trying to dive roll. And after about 2 months of working really hard at home and only being able to go to circus like once a month, I emailed the boss of the company, and I said, is there any way I could possibly come to your aerial classes, because I know I need to do more circus if I want to be part of your troupe, and that is what I want to. That's my aim at the moment. And I ended up staying with a family friend who lived nearer a circus than I did on the days that Ariel was, and she saw that I'd been working really hard, the boss, and she said, yeah, and you can come to Ariel, and I want you to come to troupe as well. And that was the thing I'm most proud of achieving. And yeah. Oh, also I'm really proud of achieving meat hooks on trapeze. A much more recent thing, from a straddle and then over into a meat hook. I've been trying to do that for a long time, and finally got it. Okay, so the next question is, what qualities do you think are important to do this course? And I'd say the two that jump to the front of my mind are being able to work with others, work with a group, because a lot of the time circus and physical theatre aren't things that you do by yourself independently. You're working with a partner, with a group, other people. You know, you can't. You can be a one-man show, but it's not the case a lot of the time. So I'd say working with other people, and also the self-drive and motivation to stick at it and to keep doing it. Those are the two that jump to the front of my mind. But I think because I guess a lot of people come to Circa Media from quite far away, they don't live in Bristol already, they'll then be moving to Bristol. You know, we're all quite young people. Well, most of us are quite young people and probably haven't lived away from home before. So I'd say maybe also that sort of side of self-organisation and the maturity to deal with living on your own and not getting to Bristol and be like, oh great, I'm going to study circus, this is all cool, and then suddenly going, oh, how do I like feed myself properly, how do I look after myself, how do I deal with injury recovery, and I am very very lucky. I've been living on my own since September last year. Obviously not now with this quarantine, I've gone to stay with my mum. And in that time, I've been living alone. I've shared with other people from the circus. I've had injuries. I've worked on how to recover from that. So that's something that I'm not worried about, and something that I think I can manage fine, is living on my own and not being kind of really phased by the whole, wow, a city. But but yeah, I think working with others and self-confidence and working with others, like the things that I really like to do, I really would like to work on acro, like partner acrobalance, and also doubles trapeze, and just things where you work really closely with other people to create something. So it's like you're so dependent on each other with the circus that you do, and that's one of my favourite things about circus. Okay, so what would you like to do after this course? Um, right now, I just want to keep learning circus and to keep like absorbing up knowledge and to keep training and to keep getting better. And in 2 years' time, if you accept me, and if you accept me in 2 years' time after I finish the course, it'll kind of depend then on where I'm at with have I got enough knowledge now that I then want to take out and start trying to perform, or start trying to make my own shows, start trying to choreograph, whatever. Um, whether I've got to that point of saturation of if I want to continue learning or to stop learning. And when I say to stop learning, I just mean temporarily. Or yeah, temporarily. If I were to continue to go on to learn, I'd probably want to do a degree either with you or the National Centre for Circus Arts in London or in Rotterdam at Code Arts, because my mum's from Holland and I like that they have more than just circus. Like you as well, you've got physical theatre. So yeah, it'll sort of depend, what you teach and how much you teach and how it is by the time I finish the course. Gap years and all that. I always said I didn't want to go to university till I was older, so I'd appreciate it more. But I guess it just depends how knowledge thirsty I am in about 2 years' time. Next question is, what do you think you'll find difficult on this course? And when I auditioned last year, I think I said something along the lines of, I don't think I'll be able to stick at it for a whole 2 years, and I'll find it really difficult to keep... I find it really difficult to actually stay with the course and to keep on with it. But I've moved around between my parents quite a bit when I was little, but I've been in one place now for about a year just doing circus, and that's taken up so much of my focus and so much of my attention, and it's just like my whole world. And I can honestly imagine just staying in one place, well, not forever, but staying in one place forever and just being absorbed in it. And that's one of my reasons for wanting to come and do your BTEC course, is to be surrounded by other people who are also absorbed in learning circus and physical theatre, and sort of not just like, this is my weekend club, but who really want to make something more out of it. So yeah, that's what I said last year, but this year, yeah, I'm fine. I feel that my biggest fear is probably to keep myself interested. And I don't mean like, circus is boring now, but one of the things this quarantine's been teaching me, handy stuff, is sort of the ability to keep changing what I'm doing, like all my conditioning, all my flexibility stuff, all my strength, just repetitive stuff that you're not like, yay, push-ups, because no one loves push-ups, but to keep engaging myself in that and to give myself the drive to do that and to keep myself motivated with that. And I'm really excited to keep finding new ways to do that, and it's been exciting so far. So yeah, that's, to round off your question, I think that's what I'll find not difficult but challenging, and I look forward to that challenge, is to keep pushing myself in different ways. Okay, what's the last performance or thing you read that inspired you? The last performance I saw that I was like, wow, was actually by some of your degree students. I think they're called, they set up a circus called Brecken's Circus or Beacon's Circus or something like that. with Tristan and Thorn and Ange and some other people. But we were with them at Green Man. We were doing a fire show, and they had their rehearsal times like just before us. So we used to see the end of their show right before we did our rehearsals. And every time Tristan and Jacob, two men doing trapeze, every time they did trapeze, it's like the way they moved around the trapezes was not anything I've ever seen before. It's like in my head it's all like, oh, static moves, like you get into a position, you do this, and it's wow. But they were just so dynamic, switching between things, and it was fast and it was exciting. And I'd really love to learn how to use a trapeze like that, to just move around and up and sideways and through. And yeah, that really excites me, the idea of learning that. And the other thing, I went to London to National Centre of Circus Arts for their National Youth Circus event 2020, where all the youth circuses come. They go to London and they have a happy time. They learn lots of different circus stuff that they may not have had a chance to learn before, and it was absolutely amazing. One of the things that was my absolute favourite thing to learn was sear wheel, and I tried the sear wheel, and the woman who was teaching us was like, oh wow, you seem to have picked this up really quickly, and I definitely suggest that you continue trying to learn this. And I was like, oh yes, I will. And I haven't, quarantine, but I looked her up online and I found her graduation piece on sear wheel, and that is a video I've not been able to stop watching, because it's split into two halves and she uses a sear wheel in two very separate ways. One of them, she's on the sear wheel, she's spinning, she's doing regular sear wheel things, and the other one, it's hanging from a giant hook and she's doing all sorts of acrobatics around it and through it, not using it as you would a sear wheel, using it as like a giant aerial hoop. And but that video of her, she's called Fiona Thornhill. If you look up her sear wheel piece, you'll probably find it. It's, yeah, I haven't been able to stop watching it. I love the way she performs in that. And yeah, I think that's all of your questions. If I've missed one, I'm sorry. And email me and I'll answer it. I hope I've got them all. And thanks. I hope to see you in September. It would have been nice to come to Bristol for the audition, but obviously no one is. And yeah, I hope you enjoy my audition piece.